Welcome back, boys. Today we have one from the Filipina Pea. Why a woman can't be satisfied in 2025.
Hi, folks. The Filipina Pea here. And we all know about modern women being the ones to initiate so many divorces. But why is it happening? Women seem to have every advantage lately, and yet they still don't seem very happy. So, what is it this time? Well, according to them, the answer is really simple. So, to find out what's going on, let's listen to a divorce attorney that claims to know the answer.
70% of divorces are initiated by women. And as a divorce lawyer, I can tell you that women are not divorcing men because they're bored or ungrateful. They're divorcing because they're tired of doing everything. But why? What is making these women walk away in such high numbers? Well, the answer is simple. Women are expected to work like they have no children and parent like they have no job. They're expected to be the emotional support system, the household manager, the one who remembers birthdays, doctor's appointments, and what shoe size the children wear. Women are not leaving because they hate marriage. They're leaving because they're exhausted. They're tired of being expected to handle everything while their husband thinks he's helping when he loads the dishwasher once a week. Most women do not leave for another man. They leave for themselves.
Okay, this just blows my mind because as a Filipina, we don't mind doing the household chores, even by hand, as well as taking care of our family and holding down a job if necessary. And somehow we manage to do it with a smile on our faces. Handling the household duties is our love language. And after having grown up in a place with no clothes washer, I can safely say that you modern women have absolutely no clue how easy you have it. And let's not pretend it's some huge energy expenditure to remember a birthday or a shoe size. If you want to have a real problem on your hands, try taking that duty away from a Filipino mother. So let's hear from another woman who really seems to resent her lot in life.
My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands on. He's an active participant. He's always present. What else could I ask for? But I was incredibly frustrated. Women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more.
I said it before, I said it again. Like, these modern women are like men, bro. Like, if you date one of these women, you're basically dating a dude. What is this woman yapping about? More work at home. It's like the man brings home the bread. Are you kidding me? Most likely the dude makes more money than you because you date him, and women date up. The thing is, women will never date a goddamn McDonald's worker if they make over 100,000 a year. Never, ever. So most likely the man earns more than her. So she can maybe, I don't know, figure something out, take a part-time job or something.
Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the
Wrong move. Don't ever ask a woman that.
mornings
They don't know what they want.
when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up. I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry. I was
You text him while he's at fucking work, busting his ass. And, oh,
running late for work.
Am I in the twilight zone right now? So let me get this straight. You have this near perfect storybook husband who offers to help you any way he can, including cooking dinner. But since he's not a mind reader and asks you what you want to eat, it pisses you off? And when you didn't have the time to empty the trash or take the water bottle out of the machine, it's time to think about ending the relationship? Now, I certainly don't have a problem with needing a husband to help out when you got 4 kids, but to consider divorcing him because he didn't have the time to empty the trash? Seriously? Sounds to me like you have a great guy, and if you don't want him, I can think of about 20 million Filipinas that would. So I got to thinking, is this really the way most women feel? That what they really want is housekeeping services? And what do they think men want in
Bro,
return?
you can't you will never like, man, speaking to these women, these modern women, it's impossible to find one that is just like normal like that.
Well, there's only one way to find out. So let's go talk to random people. Why do you think wives divorce their husbands?
From what I've seen a lot, mainly because the husband's not doing the work anymore. He's not putting the effort. They just leave all the housework for the wife.
Some women are divorcing their husbands because they're not doing enough house chores.
Yeah. And if he's not interested in just staying and not putting any effort, I just think maybe it's time for you to see separate ways. Maybe it's better, it's healthier. Maybe there's less fights because often these types of arguments can cause fights. Not doing the house chores or not changing the baby's diaper or something. And I think that's just most of the reason.
They say all this shit, but the thing is, they're not attracted to a dude that fucking does the dishwasher, for fuck's sake, or changes the fucking diaper. They're not attracted to that shit. They just say that, but they don't like.
Why people are saying, hey, let's just get a divorce at this point. I don't see any continuation of this.
Okay, so if the husband does the changing the diapers, cleaning the house, cooking, do you think that would make him less masculine?
For me, no. I think that makes him more masculine because you're able to just do the work. That is dirty work. I mean, do you understand how hard is it?
I mean, every man can fucking do that shit, but that's why you have the fucking woman to do all that other shit. Like, what?
Take care of a child?
So is it also okay for the wives to do the lawn or fix the car or
Yeah.
do the plumbing, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So
If the husband sometimes, sometimes men are not really that good at that stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes let the wife do it, but the husband does all the laundry and all the cleaning.
do you know how to fix a car?
Somewhat, yeah. And also you have YouTube, you can just search something.
What should a woman do to keep her husband happy?
Make sure there's that equal standing, there's that communication that says, hey, I want this to happen, but I
Okay.
need your help as well.
Okay, so communication.
Yeah.
What about physical intimacy? Do you think it's important?
I mean, depends on the two people, but I think it can be.
Wow, she feels the same way. If a guy's not doing the dishes, you might want to think about ending the marriage and kicking him to the curb. Now, she didn't look like an auto mechanic to me, but I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's get real though. How many wives are actually willing to get under the hood of a car and change a spark plug? Are you married?
I'm married, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So, why do you think men divorce their wives?
Most of the time, I think they're looking for a younger partner.
Why younger though?
It makes them feel younger, I think. It's just, with a guy, I think like after a certain amount of time, it just gets too familiar with the same woman and they just feel like they need something different.
A variety.
A variety, yeah. yeah.
Okay.
And usually they're gonna look for like a younger woman who's like making them feel younger too.
But why divorce their wives? Just do it secretly.
Well, some guys do that. Some guys do that, but, eventually I think it's going to just come out, It's like a guy with a car, after like 10 years or 5 years, it's like, I'd rather get something new, like a sporty, flashy car, you know what I mean?
New car smell phenomenon. Okay.
Right.
Why do you think most women divorce their husbands?
Women love romance and they love to be romanced and, sex in there as well. But
Okay.
I think they are just looking for a lot of attention, a lot of romance, and just, they love it when they first meet a man and it's really great and they're doing,
Again, it's just exciting at first.
Exciting at first, and then, it kind of like fizzles out after a while. So I think they just want to renew that again and just kind of get back to that exciting kind of period again.
Then what should a man do to keep a woman happy?
A woman always loves to feel beautiful and the man.
Right? Divorce. What do you think his reason would be?
I would say not being as considerate as I should be, whether that comes to helping out with finances or around the house maybe.
Okay, so he wants to divorce you because you're not earning as much as he
No, I would just say maybe not being as I guess even when it comes to finances and also like helping, like whether that's, you know, doing the dishes or laundry.
All right. So, in your opinion, why do you think most women divorce their husbands?
I would say for exactly what I just said, actually.
Okay.
They probably don't feel as though men are as helpful as they should be.
Don't you think it's kind of ironic though? Because if they divorce their husbands, then they're going to be alone taking care of the kids.
Yep.
So, what's up with that?
I don't really know. That is kind of ironic now that you say it out loud.
Would you say it's okay to split 50-50 when it comes to house chores, taking care of the kids?
Absolutely.
So, would you say that it's okay for the women to protect the household if there are intruders? It's like, husband, sit down. I got this. I'm gonna get the bat.
I would say if she has more experience with that wholeheartedly, then yeah, if she knows in her own mind that she's able to protect herself and her family, absolutely. But as a woman, of course, if you don't have experience with something like that, of course you're gonna want your husband to take care of that.
Do you think women still appreciate masculine men?
Of course, yeah. I think that it's not even about just being masculine anymore. It's more so just this toxic mindset of men just thinking like their only use is being providers for women. But with that, I feel like their mentality has shifted a lot more, where it's not even being a provider. It's more so just somewhat owning other women and what they're doing with their lives.
So what do you think men want from women?
I don't really know. Like, they're not as communicative as women are. Like, you know, when we feel something, we're able to express it easily. I mean, it takes, like, for a woman to speak up finally, for a man to finally say what he wants as well in that moment, which kind of contradicts how she feels. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what a man wants in order for him to stay happy.
And this woman sees the world through a female's eyes. Notice how she said a man would divorce his wife because she didn't earn enough or do as much housework. Now, I've talked to a lot of guys, and I've never heard anyone complain about their wife not earning enough. That's almost exclusively a female complaint.
We don't give a fuck how much you earn.
But at least she admitted she had no idea what men really want in order to be happy. Ah, to be young and naive again.
Why do you think most women divorce their husbands?
I would say always looking for something more, not satisfied.
Why do you think men leave their wives?
I'd say respect. That sounds like basic, but like a lack of respect, or like not being heard and not getting what you need out of the relationship.
Some men are being divorced by women because they're not masculine enough. What do you think that means?
Can I swear?
Sure.
I think that they're pussies and they need to be men.
Yeah, I mean, I like my man manly, so.
Well, that's what we are. That's what you're supposed to be as a man.
Exactly.
I'm traditional. There's traits that I think women should have, and then there's traits I think men should have. There's stuff that you should know how to do as a man and stuff you should know how to do as a woman, I think.
And sad to say, some men are not really keen to learn the basic manly, I don't know, things to do, like changing car tires and
Exactly.
stuff like that. Okay.
I agree.
In your opinion, do you think it's okay to have 50-50 when it comes to household chores?
Completely. I think that, yeah, you should definitely work together because you're both living there. You're both making the mess, but you should both have to clean it. I think, yeah, completely. I agree that it should be split.
Split. Okay, so would it be okay for the women to do the lawn, to have the car fixed, or?
I think that it's important that a woman like knows how and has the knowledge to be able to do those things, but in my personal opinion, that's something that I think that
I have a perfect husband, but let me shame him publicly online. Yeah, this is I don't know how I don't know how dudes put up with this bullshit. I don't know how they don't just fucking wake up and see what's going on. The same women who are nitpicking their essentially perfect husbands are also unsatisfied with their large fancy homes. Just a culture of ungratefulness and selfishness that's fueled by social media. Yeah. The most important thing to look for in a woman, social media use, definitely. That's number one. And then number two is like, meet the, if you're serious about a girl, meet the parents as soon as possible to check how the dynamics are. You know, is the father weak? Is he like, you know, spineless idiot? Gynocracy absolutely destroyed women. No matter what a man does, he can do a million things right, but most women focus on the one thing that he doesn't do. Yeah, bro, just leave him alone. Go overseas. The thing is, like, you can find women that just like automatically do shit that is just expected, you know, and they get mad at you. Can you imagine a woman getting fucking mad at you for trying to, help out in the kitchen, or like doing the dishes or laundry? They get straight up angry. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing? That's my job." Holy sh! There is literally nothing a man can do to make these types of women happy. Uh, anyway, boys, I catch you boys on the next one. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Take care of yourself, okay?